All right, so I'm gonna open this all the way. Oh, and Sean, it looks like you got it so that it looks pretty good even in a smaller
Dude, for
screen,
some
which is
reason, it looks
awesome.
great on yours. Yeah, that's weird. It just
Yeah,
not doing that.
we'll take what we can get. Let's see if we can do this open in a new window. Okay, sweet. So we got both here. So we got your HTML we can take a look at and your CSS, and we got
Oh, I
your
forgot to
page.
put stuff in. Ooh.
You forgot what?
To put the alt for the image to describe it.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well, let's take a look at it though. OMG, look, a joke. Looks like a header tag. The mayor in my city just passed a law that male best friends have to have lunch together at least once a week. Well, it's not a law, it's a mandate. Hey!
So done.
Very nice. Okay, so let's look at this. So Sean has a transition hover effect. We are going from a not seeing any text or any opacity on the background here to a dark opaque background with a yellow text that is added over the top of the image. So he's got the image in there, he's got the header tag in there, and this is awesome. That's fantastic, Sean. I'm really proud of you for that. I like that a lot. Those transitions are definitely more difficult to pull off. That's very cool. Got a little Schitt's Creek in there. Okay, so now that we know what this looks like, let's go take a look at your CSS, your HTML and CSS really fast. So your HTML, you have your regular tag, your closing tag. We have our head element, and I see that we didn't need that pre-connect tag in there. That's okay. So we have our meta. That's always there. Title, you David. Let's make sure. Okay, sweet. So we see title showing up in the tab in the top right. Fun. Okay, and we got our style sheet connected. What's up? Somebody have a question?
Could you zoom?
Oh, right. Yeah. Good call. We're on Zoom, Colin.
Thank you.
Idiot.
Okay, cool. Now we have a body element with a class attribute of content. We have an H1 element with a class attribute of header. And then we put in this OMG look a joke. Awesome. And then we have the joke itself in a paragraph tag, paragraph element, and inside of a main. We have a div, and this is where the real magic is happening with our image. So our image is wrapped inside of a div. Image has a class attribute of image underscore image. Interesting choice on that class name, Sean. Okay, then we have the source attribute. We have the width and the height attribute. So this is great. So Sean has 5 attributes or 4 attributes on this image tag, and it looks like we have this self-closing thing. I actually looked this up a little bit because I know we talked about this in one of the classes, whether or not you need this / here. So this is, yeah, you don't need it for valid HTML. One thing that's interesting is you'll see this in like React and a lot of frameworks because it can be parsed as valid XML as well, which is like a different kind of templating language. So that's kind of an interesting note that I found. But you don't need to do this for it to be valid. But I think when you automatically save, since this website is built for like a lot of frameworks, it just adds those slashes in there. But yeah, this is awesome. Good work, Sean. So we got a bunch of attributes in there. We have a text overlay div with and this is the punchline. It's not a lot to mandate. Awesome. What I'm really curious about now is to see this animation that we did. So we got a gradient in the background. Very fun. Let's see, how did we center everything? So we have our content. We have justify content center, align item center. So these are 2 pieces that will be used with Flexbox specifically. So did you add Flexbox to the content here, Sean?
I believe so. I kind of just did make it work. So
absolutely, no. That's what a lot of CSS is, and we have a lot of pieces added into our CSS rules here, and I'm sure everybody's kind of looks like this, where you're throwing a bunch of stuff in there and you might not understand all of it. That's okay. I encourage you to go back and kind of research pieces of it, as you go through. You're not going to be able to take all this in at once, and it's fun to kind of just make changes and see what happens. So the only way to really learn this is to get your feet wet. Like I said, there's so many different attributes you can do with CSS to make stuff work. But we pick ones that.
When you say Flexbox, what exactly do you mean by that?
So when we look down here, you see that you add display flex as a property on image wrap. So this is turning this into like by using Flexbox. Flexbox is just a CSS feature that was added in CSS.
Yeah. So just by saying display flex, that's what you mean by Flexbox, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a set of features that was added to CSS, like, 6 or 7 years, well, probably more than that now, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, but it's still somewhat new, kind of. And some websites don't use it. So we do display flex here on the image wrap container. And then we do a justify content, align items. So these 3 lines here, so this is what's actually centering our content. So that's really making the magic. It's putting everything in the middle of the page. Otherwise, it would all be left aligned. Very cool. I like that. We got some margin. We got some top movement. Generally, you want to use the pixel. You want to use some kind of value here.
Oh, okay.
So you never want to do like just without a pixel value, or an inch. You wouldn't want to use inches, but some kind of value. Let's see. Position absolute on the text overlay, so that this allows the 2 elements to be on top of each other. Very cool. Visibility hidden. So this is something that's interesting. When we're talking about accessibility, you want to be very careful with visibility hidden. Visibility hidden is also going to hide this from a screen reader. So text overlay, which is this, what's going to happen then if we come in here with our screen reader, it's going to read our header, and it's then going to say, let's see. So can you guys hear the computer voice or no?
No.
Okay, but you can. So this text box, I should probably turn the audio off because it's incredibly loud, but in my ears only. But this box will show you what the screen reader is reading, and you can turn off the audio, so that way we can kind of follow along with what's happening. So we just hit our paragraph tag, our joke. So this read us the joke, and then we go in and we move into the next piece, and we do have an unlabeled image, which is not great. Oh, the joke is going to be.
I labeled it in the new one. You just didn't pull that.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Of course. So we have an unlabeled image. That's a problem because we're not going to be able to. This site is not going to be as usable, and the joke is going to be completely lost on anyone using assistive technologies. Now, when we try to go into the joke, into the punchline. Oh, okay. So that did actually work, which is great. So it actually showed up. So we did get the joke. I guess I was wrong about that. Oh, I gotta close this now. Okay, so visibility hidden. I'll do some reading on that and see. Transition, very cool. So this is how we get our action happening. And we didn't go over any of these properties that you can add in CSS. So really what we're doing is, Sean said, I want this to do a certain thing. I want it to animate. So you just Google what are the properties you can add in CSS to kind of make that happen. And then we just use the syntax that we've learned of, where the selector goes, what a rule looks like. So we build our CSS with what we've learned. And then we can add in pieces as we learn, because there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. And you really just need to find out what you need, learn how it works, and add it with the correct syntax. This right here, Sean, that's not the correct syntax. You didn't put anything in there.
Whoops.
Okay, good job, Sean. Sorry, I think I spent too much time on Sean's, but
yeah.
Let's go through some others. Okay, let's go look at Colin's. I'm sorry, Colin, this is gonna be so sad.
That's all right. It had cool things on it.
I believe it. I really do. Okay, here's a joke. Why did Nathan cross the road to join ISIS? This, Colin, I do have to say you beat Sean in the sense that yours is potentially more accessible because you don't have any images with missing alt tags. So you win on that account.
Nice.
Oh, so sad. Not even the HTML or the CSS files in there. But we have properly structured HTML. We have our head element. We have our title. We have the your joke page. Good. This is where the link tag would go. Here's a joke. Why did Nathan cross the road? Okay, Nathan's coming in hot. Cracker.
Mine looks almost as pretty as Sean's. Just wait.
Oh,
just wait.
I'm excited. Look, we're going to open a new window so we don't get any spoilers. Ooh,
oh, look how pretty it is.
Wow, we got a baby puppy. The greatest joke of all time. Do you want to hear the greatest joke of all time? Are you ready? What do you call a dog with short legs and metal testicles? Punch the black box to find out. Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, look, it turns into a fist.
Oh, what? Oh, yes.
That is amazing.
Now that is great. I love this. This is awesome. So we have a custom font. Awesome. We have the link to an MDN article at the end. We have
Pull down really quick, a little bit more.
Oh, very nice.
Michael, can you dock points for him using papyrus?
Yeah, exactly. I know he did that on purpose. It's fantastic. It's also called Fantasy. I think the CSS property is actually called Fantasy. So let's see what it looks like.
Couldn't find Comic Sans in there.
Fantasy. It is. You can do Comic Sans. I think you have to preface it with an MS, like MS space Comic Sans, something like that. But that's Fantasy's great. Fantasy is papyrus. That's horrible. But I love it. So I think Nathan is one of the, so far he's the only person who's actually ticked all the boxes of including an image. Ooh, and let's make sure that this has the correct alt information in his image tag. Image, source, alt, cute puppy. Perfect. That's great. So that is an accurate description of what we see in our image. So when somebody comes through with the screen reader, they will know what this is. Very cool. A lot of BRs, a lot of breaks.
Line breaks.
A lot of line breaks. Call it stuff. There we go. So this could be achieved with CSS. We can add spacing with CSS here that makes things a lot easier. You could add margin to the top of this or margin to the bottom of this paragraph element. That would give you that same effect. That way you don't have to put a crap load in there, but you did it and it worked. It was great. And it was very effective. It was very effective. There was a lot of suspense. Everybody laughed. Colin is dumb. I love it. Marky. Okay, that's funny. And I get the joke. Good. And you put the link in there. Yeah, I think you're the only one that followed all of the rules to the T so far. So gold star for Nathan. Good job, man. I love it. Okay. We're going to close this out. We're going to close this out. We got a couple more to look at. We got Sam's. I think you shared this correctly, Sam. So let's copy a link.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh,
I should have put a...
Very different. Okay.
You're supposed to hover over it just over the page, and it should be, start the animations.
Yeah, it's not starting the animations.
Ooh, no, this is perfect. I wanted to wait.
It's not doing the knock,
I just wanted to wait for it all to load because my computer is running a little slowly right now. Okay.
Wait,
It is doing the knock. I don't think it's coming across in the
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
No, the other stuff, it just happened. It took me a while. I had it open, but
Sean,
it
what did you
finally...
say?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's there. Oh boy. This must
I don't know if I understand the joke.
Oh wow, let's refresh this. Let's experience it again.
Wait, Sam, what is tell me a joke, knock knock, who's it? This is Philip Glass.
Yeah. Do you know who Philip Glass is?
No, I don't.
He's a minimalist composer who's known for his repetition.
Okay. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is very...
How could I forgive Philip?
I opened it on mine. It runs much smoother. Looks great.
That is funny though.
Okay.
Oh, I love that.
Well done, Sam.
Thanks.